Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Tonight, we're reviewing we're reviewing Ready to Love, right? Ready to Love, season 11, episode number 5, right? The going down in the Motown, right? We still show opens up with Tommy. We're having all the men at his house, all the men at this big, beautiful house, right? Tommy acknowledges their dedication to the process and announces that they are at Aretha Franklin's house, right? The Queen of Soul herself, right? For some rest in a 70s Motown type party, right? Now, I'll tell you, this house was immaculate, right? The house was beautiful. I don't know if you do tours at the house. I don't know what's going on. But if I'm in the D, I might stop by Aretha Franklin's house, right? But the men go in the house and they go in the house, they walk in the house and they tour the house. Man, Chris even joked that the kitchen shoot was great, right? And then he had done some nasty things to the stove. The stove was dope, right? The stove had some dark blue, I believe, with some gold trim. The stove was miraculous. The stove was like that. I guess being a chef, you look at the stove like, man, I can do some wonders with this stove. But nasty things to the stove, Chris. Yeah. Hey, then we move on. We start seeing that, how they do Ready to Love. They walk up. Everybody's walking up in their butterfly collars. They walking in their platform shoes, walking on in their wigs. They look nice, right? I like the theme thing that Ready to Love is doing here with the Motown Party. I think it was cool. Think it was entertaining, right? But again, not a lot of individual dates, but one big party for everybody to get to know each other. Could have been done on a very first episode. Y'all let me know, right? So here it is. So we see Lauren. I can't remember who she's talking to, but she said she was shocked that Vince had called her out of her name. She says that she doesn't know what Vince could say to make her feel comfortable, right? With him again. How would you feel comfortable? He called you a B and wasn't even prompted. Even if it was prompted, you never call a female woman a B, right? Never. He called you that, and he called you not even to your face, but in the presence of other people. Yeah, I don't know how you could feel comfortable being with Vince ever again, right? Nicole is shown giving Ed compliments and words of affirmation. Look, Nicole is down for Ed, but I don't know if Ed is down for Nicole. It's a college crush. Maybe he didn't give her no time in college, and she want to revisit that thing. But Ed is not a talker, y'all. We talked about Cardi being not being a talker. Ed ain't. I don't think Ed is into Nicole like that. But anyway, we move on. Then we saw Donna speaking to Vince, right? She finds Vince funny, right? Knowing that they have a connection. They talk every day, right? And I had to question myself. You talk to her every day, and y'all got a connection, and you know this man's calling other women out their name when he's mad, upset, or don't like them. So what happens when you do something that he does not like? Does he call you out your name? And I like Donna, right? And Vince can be really rude and disrespectful. We saw that when he was talking to in the last episode, right? When he was talking about the money situation. We saw that kind of in this episode when he talks to Christina a little bit later. Vince can be rude. So yeah, Donna, you and Vince, y'all keep working that out, right? Hey, you forgive him, right? Then we see Tommy. Tommy returns to the party, right, with some hair, some chops, and he says, "Look, the men are in charge tonight. All right, and the men are in charge. Keep cutting the rug, keep doing what you got to do." But he announces that one of the women will be going home tonight. Donna, Donna, a little worried. She's scared, right? Because the only connection she has is Vince, right? Christina is overheard saying that every man she has dated wanted to marry her. And I find that confusing. See, I had to go back and look. I thought she said every man she dated was married, but I'm like, dang. But she said every man that she dated wanted to marry her. Christina's straightforward. She's all about that bag. She's all about that money. She's all about that money. She's all about that money. Christina's about that money, not anything else, right? She's about that money, and I'm not sure if she going to get that money out of these guys. You only know these guys for like at least about 2 weeks, maybe week and a half. Yeah, ain't gonna work out, Christina. Hey, did we see a scene where Vince apologized to Lauren for calling her out her name? Lauren says that the apology seems genuine, right, and believes that he has learned his lesson. I'm not 100% sure, right? He said it too quickly. It came out real quick. I think sometimes you grow to learn and you live to learn. If she says it's genuine, then it might be genuine. But I think Vince it came out too fluidly from what the other women were saying and what people say. Look, you don't call women out their name. Whether they like you or not, you be respectful, right? Hey, And I'm surprised Lauren never asked him why he didn't call her a B. Why he called her a B, right? I know maybe he was using it as a descriptive language. Oh, that tall B. It doesn't matter. Like, what did I do to you to deserve to be called a B? Is it that I didn't give you any time? I didn't communicate with you. I didn't talk to you. I didn't. It to me, some of y'all may not matter. It matters why you call me what you call me, right? What did I do to you for calling me out my name? But I move on. That would have been my first question. Yo, who you calling up? UNIT? What? Anyway, who you calling to be? That's what I was asking. Here it is. Next thing we move on, we got the one-on-one conversations. We see Ashante and Darius having a talk, and they talking and flirting, right? They talking and flirting. Ashante, I think Ashante and Steven a little bit better. I thought they had chemistry, but Darius is out there. He's smooth. I don't know what was going on with that fur coat he had earlier, but Darius is out there. I don't think there's a connection there, but they're having a conversation. We saw Christina and Chris. Christina brings up letting men go for not meeting her expectations, and then brings up asking men for money. Chris was like, yo, I didn't know this was like an experiment. I didn't know she asked 3 other people for it. So we found out Chris was the one who said, nah, I ain't got it right now. I ain't rolling like that. Good for you, Chris. Good for you, Chris, for not giving it to her, and you only know her about a week and a half and giving it for her money, right? Good for her. Good for you, man. Chris is not feeling it, not at all. All right. Then we saw Bello and Dominique, and this two right here. They're sharing a lot of passion, right? They're sharing a lot of closeness, right? Bello and Dominique, they showing a lot of, and she was like, why you ain't paying attention to me? He said, I'll pay attention to you when you was talking to this person, when you was talking to that person. Bello understands the game. Why I'm going to interrupt? I know you always going to come back. I'm watching you across the room, and I know what's going on. Right? I know what's going on. Dominique is smitten, as that old term would say. She is smitten by Bello. And if I don't, this is our only connection. There's nobody else. It's just Bello, right? But they had a good conversation. Then we see the group participate in the Soul Train line, right? Hey, they were getting down. You can't have a Motown 1970s party without a Soul Train line, right? Love, peace, and soul. But now they're having a Soul Train party, and it was good. Soul Train line, everything was moving there. Then we saw Shannon and Devon. And these two, I like Shannon and Devon together. They're both quirky. They both are eager to talk. Shannon talking about Devon's chest. I had to look at it like, is that taco meat? I don't have hair. I'm not a hairy guy on my chest. I'm like, but is that taco meat? Maybe she liked the taco meat, as my kids would say. She liked the hair, right? She invites Devon to a Pilates class, and Devon accepts, right? Saying that he's very comfortable in his sexuality, right? Hey, I like the chemistry. Most men would say, no, I ain't going to Pilates. He's willing to be where she's at and be involved in her interests. Hey, I'm not mad at him, right? Christina confronts Vince. Now, Christina is rough around the edges, right? I'm not saying she combative, but she gave a lot of energy, right? She gave a lot of energy for her friend Lauren. And that's what you want a friend to do, right? She gave a lot of energy. She calls Vince very disrespectful, right? And question why he didn't come to her. And Vince asked, like, why didn't you come to me first, right? Like, for what? All right? She said her expectations are high. She want high expectations. If her daddy been with her mama for 39 years, he treat her right, then you better treat me like my daddy take care of my mama. Yeah, Vince is turned off. He ain't get that type of energy to Christina because Christina was giving him all the energy. And we saw him just walk off and leave. Vince believed that Christina's only there to get paid. That's it. She's not for him. And he's fine with that. And he keeps moving, right? Keep it moving. We saw Chris and Nicole. Nicole expresses insecurities about the process, right? Chris tells her he thinks she's really dope, right? Chris and Nicole could work. But we'll see how that works out. Chris is not giving me a lot. He's kind of secretive. And you don't see much from Chris. We just know he's a chef. And sometimes the editing, we see that sometimes they don't give you. But again, goes back to what I said earlier, the lack of one-on-one dates. Some people don't work well in mixers, right? Some people got to be the one-on-one. I know they talking to each other on one-on-one, but I need to go out with you at the dinner table and set the atmosphere, not all these mixers, right? So we'll see. Darius and Ashley talk. All right, Daryl expressed that Darius and Ashley talk. Ashley expressed that she has a wall up because men often talk a good game but never deliver. Darius said he's coming with a sledgehammer. He about to break down that walls. He's also coming with 4 kids. Ashley, I want you to understand. You have none. He may break down some of your walls, but he's coming with 4 kids. Don't know the age of the kids. Don't know how grown they are. We know he's in his mid-40s. They could be teenagers, whatever case may be. But he also coming with 4 kids. Think about this thing. I want you to think hard, right? But she says she's fertile myrtle, so it is what it is. She might be child number 5's mama. We'll see. All right, Donna and Ed discuss Donna and Ed goes back into the religious conversation. Donna attempts to clear up the misconception that she's atheist. She's not atheist. She does believe in God. Ed states that there's a misalignment. Hey, Ed said, I love Jesus, right? He don't want to be unequally yoked. He wants somebody who follows the Lord. I can't be mad at this man for wanting somebody who go to church with him on Sunday morning, Wednesday Bible night, Wednesday night Bible study, and Friday night joy night. It is what it is. He wants somebody to be with him who walks a line. I said in the last interview, last review, how can 2 walk together except for agree? If this is Ed's end all to be all, hey, let it be what it is. He wants somebody who loves Jesus as much as he does. All right. Donna feel like she's misunderstood. Some of the men did misunderstand you, but again, she want to walk with somebody who walks in the Lord, right? Again, Nicole is begging Ed for a date. Girl, this man does not want to be with you. Even a Zoom date to show a Zoom date. Girl, you got to mix it with the man. Talk to the man. If the man ain't talk to you on a Zoom date, if he ain't calling you, guess what? If Ed ain't talk to you in college, he ain't talk to you while y'all grown, he may not want to talk to you now. Nicole, catch the hint. Please catch the hint, right? We see Tommy. Tommy pulls up and pulls the man aside to deliberate who and to find out who is going to be eliminated. Ed said Nicole. Steven said, who they're connected to. Sorry. Who they're connected to. Ed said he's connected to Nicole. Steven says he's connected to Ashante. Darius says Ashley, Dominique, Ashante, Cardi. Cardi says Dominique. Devin says Shannon and Dominique. Bello says Dominique. And Chris says Nicole, right? Who the men are disconnected to, who's on the chopping block. Vince, Chris, and Bello all select Christina due to her high expectations and her money, right? She's all about that money. That money. Yeah. Money. Yeah. Darius and Devin both select Donna due to her prejudgment and based off of the fact that she is too busy, right? The ladies, while the men are deliberating, the ladies are talking. Dominique states that if a man wants them to chase, they're not the man for her. If a man won't chase her, right? If a man want her to chase him, he ain't the one. She ain't about that chasing. She ain't running down nobody. A man should find her, right? He that finds a wife finds a good thing, right? So he needs to find her, right? Tommy and the men return. Devin calls Donna and Christina to the carpet. The feedback for Christina is that the men are concerned about her expectations, right? And the feedback for Donna is the men think she is smart and have great energy, but she don't have the time, and yet she's not religious, right? And that's the end of the episode. No one goes home. Another cliffhanger. I get tired, right? This ain't Dallas. This ain't the 1980s. And I might be showing my age. You sit there and you watch a show for an hour. We expect the ending. If I'm on episode number 5, y'all, I'm coming back next week. Like most of y'all, we come back every week. But you ain't got to give me a cliffhanger every week, right? Do like most shows. Give a cliffhanger in the middle of your season, and that's it. But every week, episode 1, cliffhanger. Episode number 3, cliffhanger. Man, stop giving us cliffhangers ready to love on. Give us the show. We want the whole smoke in the whole show. But nonetheless, it's a cliffhanger. Come back next week to see who get eliminated. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Once again, that's Ready to Love, season 11, episode number 5. Thanks for rocking with us. Make sure you check out other videos. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Let me know your thoughts of this episode of Ready to Love. Peace.